What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the surprise update that just went live in Cold War Year 2, some spicy new rumors, as well as some other Bombshell reports. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War Year 2, Modern Warfare 2, Warzone, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, we're repping G Fuel today, and don't forget you can save 30% off any G Fuel order when you use code Dynamite over on their site from now until March 28th. I get about 2 code boosts every single month, bumping my code from 10% to 30%, so take advantage of that while you guys can. They have some incredible new flavors just introduced over on their website. But also, as a bit of a ad insert, excuse me for this one, Gamer Advantage, the wonderful company that made my glasses, are going ahead and introducing some fantastic new products over the next couple of weeks, which I'm really excited to talk about, so be on the lookout for some other announcements. Now, I also want to remind you guys that I do have timestamps in every single video. I saw a few comments recently saying that they were happy I brought timestamps back, or they're asking me to bring them back, and I'm like, wait a second, they are in every single one of my videos, and if you guys don't see them for whatever reason when scrubbing through the video itself, check the description down below and they'll always be there. Sometimes the mobile app for YouTube does bug out a little bit and doesn't show all of them correctly. Not sure why that's the case. It never happened before, but feel free to let me know in the comments if you guys are still having issues with using the timestamps that I put on the channel, because you know what? I'm proud to be one of few COD channels that actually utilizes that feature to ensure that you guys can skip around to the topic that you guys want to hear about the most. But we also have a tweet from Treyarch saying that the Vargo 52 assault rifle has been disabled in the snipers only mosh pit. I covered that a couple of weeks ago when the Vargo first got released into Cold War multiplayer. I was like, wait a second, people out there on snipers only mosh pit could theoretically just use the Vargo and drop some disgusting gameplays, which would completely be an unfair experience, right? So I'm wondering if anybody out there, let me know in the comments, if anybody out there actually used the Vargo and dropped like a nuke or something, which would be horrible against some regular snipers in that playlist. But that's finally been fixed. Not sure what took so long with that one. Maybe they didn't know about it. Not enough people maybe reported on it, but there you have it with the Vargo 52. In the background, we also have a really nice LC10 Big Brain Mastercraft gameplay here on WMD, one of the new maps here in Cold War multiplayer. Dropped a nasty nuke with this one, and to be honest with you, the LC10 is easily one of the best weapons in this game, and I think has been since it first originally came out. I think my first nuclear in Cold War multiplayer that I went for was with the LC10, so I'm glad to be revisiting the SMG here for tonight's gameplay. But I'm definitely happy that we ended up getting an extension to the WMD 24/7 playlist. No reason to get rid of it, right? At least not until the next new multiplayer map releases here for this game. But last ad insert, I promise. If you guys want to drop crazy gameplays like you guys are seeing in the background, we of course have AIM Controllers, who puts together some fantastic builds for PS5, Xbox Series X or S. They even make, I think, some keyboard and mice. But yeah, this is a fantastic remote. Of course, has paddles on the back. They managed to put my logo on it, as you can see. You can do the same whenever you guys build one, and you could save 10% off any order over 50 bucks while using code Dynamite at aimcontrollers.com. Now, when it comes to the surprise update that went live in Cold War today, this was not mentioned at all in any marketing, no tweets. We have the Valhalla Bound bundle for 1,500 COD points. Let me actually pull this up real quickly. And as you guys can see, it's not that stacked in terms of content. The Wraith skin itself, though, is pretty fire. I would say I'm getting some heavy God of War vibes, loving the mythology references here, but the blueprints themselves are fairly basic. I mean, we have one here for, I believe that's the Ironhide shotgun, one of the new weapons that released in Season 6, and we also have the Fafnir's Greed, a tactical rifle. This is for the M16, of course. And for a second, I'm like, wait, Fafnir, isn't that the name of the upgraded dragon shield from Grod Krovi? I could be mistaken, but let me know in the comments if I'm right with that one. We also have a charm, a calling card, and even a reticle. Now, I don't know about you guys, but even when we have cool operator skins released, I'm still on the lookout for tracer rounds or reactive blueprints, Mastercrafts, of course, so I'm not really too interested in any bundles that don't have things like that, but this is definitely still a cool bundle, and I would say is arguably maybe the least populated bundle out of all the Year 2 content we know is coming, so I guess you could say it's the weakest of the bunch, but still a good bundle nonetheless. So let me know how you're feeling about this one down below in the comments. But can't complain about more Year 2 content, right? I'm just wondering if Friday is our new sweet spot for Cold War Year 2 material. It's not a coincidence that there was a Friday planned about last month that was supposed to be the release of WMD, the Vargo, and the Vargo Mastercraft. Obviously, the Vargo and the bundle did come out, but not WMD. That got delayed and came out, what was it, I think 2 weeks ago on a Thursday? So I'm wondering if we're going to be getting bundles every Friday and a map like every other month on a Thursday as well. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with future Year 2 content. I would say for a bundle that's stacked, that stockpile featuring the new Striker skin, or even the Ravenov pack featuring himself and the Scythe melee weapon, they'll probably do a little bit of marketing for that, like they did before on Treyarch's Twitter, where they put out a tweet the day before saying, hey, this is releasing tomorrow, along with a little bit of a blog post featuring any other patch notes a part of that update. Now, since the Valhalla Battlebound bundle just came out. That just means we're getting closer and closer to the bundles that you guys actually want to see, whether it's for Ravenov, Striker, or even the campaign Hudson skin, which does come with some really cool blue tracer rounds and some of the blueprints that are in that pack. I'll be posting plenty of year 2 bundle review videos here on the channel once all of that does release, of course. But we then got a spicy rumor from hacker Alix over on Twitter, who is claiming, and I quote, WMD and Jungle are just the beginning, more to come. He then quoted it with multiplayer and zombies. So I'm like, hold on a second, let's take a step back and not jump the gun too quickly, but let's dissect this. So when it comes to multiplayer first, besides WMD and Jungle, what other maps are likely to release in this game? Well, like I mentioned in a video, I think a couple of weeks ago, I think any map from the Black Ops Pass in BO4, which people out there didn't really play that much, those are likely to possibly come back. I mean, BO4 and Cold War aren't too different from one another in terms of the engine, the way the games are built. Might be an easy port from one game to the next where they end up changing a couple of minor things like the lighting or the saturation of the color, whatever that is. But those maps are likely. I would also say Summit is also kind of a question mark right now, considering that was a part of the Weather Station region in the Euro Mountains, which never ended up releasing for Fireteam or Outbreak. So might as well grab that map that could be done and throw it in the 6v6. Nobody will complain about that one. Now, a map that I really want to see, which I brought up a few times before, is Grid. The entirety of that map, if not most of it, is already in the Fireteam region known as Duga. So might as well slap those pieces together of the map and throw it into MP, right? Wouldn't complain about that one. If they do that though, then that would probably confirm that we're going to end up getting Summit as well added into Cold War, which seems to also be a part of the Fireteam experience. But we then have Firing Range, right? I'm like, okay, this is a map that has been in every single Black Ops game to date, and I would be shocked if it doesn't get released here into Cold War. I mean, if it doesn't, can't complain. There are so many other maps out there that I would prefer over Firing Range, just because some of them haven't got remastered a single time from Black Ops 1. Even a night map like Hanoi, and there's so many others that I'll put on screen so you can see. I prefer those first, especially a lot of the maps from BO1, but if we get Firing Range, can't complain about that one. It's just extra bonus content to keep us going until their next Call of Duty. So we'll have to wait and see how that works. But when it comes to zombies, I don't really think or believe at all that we're going to end up getting any other round-based maps or even anything special into Outbreak. What I think that's referring to is definitely the extra Onslaught experiences that we know exist. Gameplay's already been posted of Onslaught on WMD. We know that Onslaught support works on so many other multiplayer maps in the game as well, so they might as well drip feed that a little bit throughout 2022. And we also had the rumor about that upcoming playlist for all the Onslaught LTMs that Xbox and PC never got to see. So there you have it with what we know so far, in case you guys missed it in some of my previous videos talking about this. But if you guys are like, oh, it's Chronicles 2, I wouldn't go as far as to say that, especially considering Ralph's Valve, another gaming insider, said that we wouldn't actually see that until 2024, 2025. It'll probably be their next Call of Duty or even the standalone Zombies project that's been rumored for quite some time. That's likely when we'll see that. I don't think Cold War will be the time and place for that map pack, unfortunately, even though I would love to see that. You guys know, out of all people, I'll be the first one to tell you when something like that is going to end up happening. Now, I also want to bring up something that you guys probably forgot about, and that is weather variant experiences like we got over in Black Ops 4. We got maps like Arsenal Sandstorm, Contraband Hurricane, Firing Range Night, Hacienda Twilight, Jungle Flooded, Seaside Sunset. Those were maps that I would have figured would have worked very well as year 2 content for Black Ops 4, but maybe once Activision told Treyarch, hey, you're not going to get a year 2 for Black Ops 4, instead, you have to work on COD 2020, turn it into Cold War, Sledgehammer couldn't finish it. Maybe at that point, like halfway through BO4's cycle in year 1, they were like, all right, let's just pump out these maps now since we're working on them already. We're not going to be able to drop them next year. So that's what they did. And I was okay with those weather variants. To me, it was just easy filler content. But I think that is an example of content that I think would work very well right now for Black Ops Cold War Year 2. I never minded those maps, but when you drop those during Year 1 instead of actual new maps or new remasters from older games, then it's a bit redundant, right? Because you're releasing the same map twice, essentially, in that game. But if you split it up a little bit and do that during a year 2 or year 3, I think people out there would warm up pretty quickly to that one. But let me know in the comments if you want to see some weather variant maps added into Cold War multiplayer or even Treyarch's future Call of Duty as well. They're probably experimenting quite a bit behind the scenes, seeing what resonates well with the community before making a decision on bringing things like that back in their upcoming Call of Duty projects. Now, it might just be a coincidence, but isn't it funny that WMD released during Season 2 of Vanguard Cycle, which is also a snowy themed season all around the Alps? Maybe it's just a coincidence and means nothing, but if Jungle releases in Season 3 3 of Vanguard cycle, then I'm wondering if Season 3 of Vanguard will have a bit of a green theme, a very wilderness type vibe on the new maps, or something out in a jungle somewhere. I'm wondering if that's a connection at all that makes sense, or if it's just pure coincidence that Treyarch had those maps ready to go in that exact order. But if that's the case and there is a connection, then hey, Summit's also a snowy theme map. Might as well drop that over the next 30 days or so while Season 2 is still active. I wouldn't complain about that one, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't as well. But speaking of Vanguard, we have a tweet today from Sledgehammer Games saying that they've added an experimental playlist to Vanguard to test out an updated spawn system for multiplayer. Let me know if you've tried that out yet down below in the comments. I haven't, but that's interesting that they've done that. Never seen them do that before with any other previous Call of Duty game. They've also announced a Max XP event in Vanguard for those out there that gave up on the game already and maybe are enticed to come back because of it. Not sure if you guys care too much about that, but figured I'd bring it up. And we also have a new Mastercraft release for the Bard. Does not feature any tracers and does cost 2,400 COD points. Correct me if I'm wrong though, I don't think any Mastercraft in Cold War didn't have tracers. I could be completely wrong about this. I'm maybe not remembering something, but I think that's a bit pricey for a Mastercraft. It doesn't have any tracers, and the rest of the cosmetics in that pack also aren't great, but the Mastercraft itself does look pretty cool, and the bar is a great weapon in the game. Maybe that is going to be the Mastercraft for you if you guys are considering buying any bundles in Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, when it comes to some Bombshell reports you guys may have missed, we have confirmation that Activision Blizzard shareholders will vote on approving Microsoft's acquisition on April 28, 2022, per a new SEC filing by Activision Blizzard. They did say that if the acquisition doesn't happen, there will be a significant loss to the company's stock price, and that's to be expected, right? I wouldn't expect their stock price to do any better if all of a sudden that deal fell through, and everybody's expecting it to go through, of course, but there is a chance they don't get the votes they need to push it forward. There's a chance that Congress doesn't approve it as well, so things are up in the air right now, and maybe it doesn't happen. But the thing is, if it does happen, then we won't be seeing any significant changes to Activision as a whole until at some point in 2023. The original rumors that it wouldn't even go through until June of 2023, which is what was going to be before Treyarch's next Black Ops, but now that their game's pushed back to 2024, that just means that if the acquisition goes through, Microsoft will be fully in charge long before Treyarch's next game is ready to roll out, and we'll probably get delayed if it's not ready, right? I don't think Microsoft's gonna be interested in forcing out a rushed product that isn't ready to go and could stain Treyarch's reputation on top of that too. But also more good news with Microsoft. From a new report, 15 developers at Raven sent a letter to Microsoft's CEO asking for his stance on Activision Blizzard not recognizing their union. Microsoft tells them they won't object to Activision recognizing internal unions. So this is a good step in the right direction where Microsoft's not going to interfere with people's ability or need to unionize. And on top of that, they're actually for it in a way, since they just said if Activision acknowledges it, they won't question it, and they'll probably honor that by the time the acquisition goes through in the next year or so. So I think Microsoft acquiring them is the best route to go. And even though a lot of the executives have golden parachutes to exit with millions of dollars, it's better that they go with their money instead of stay and make more money to the point where things are just a never-ending loop of the same BS, the same harassment, the same toxicity every single year in and out. Now, I know things have been a little bit quiet lately, and I appreciate everybody out there who has really stuck around here on the channel, supporting me through this really dry and awkward period for the Call of Duty community. I'm still really having fun covering year 2 for Cold War, new content, new rumors, new bundles, all of that good stuff. I'm excited to be providing that for you guys as often as I possibly can. And I know there isn't really much happening around the Vanguard scene. I wouldn't be shocked if that game's life cycle gets cut short, but I'll cover whatever you guys do care about when it comes to that game. And also with that, I do have some other gameplay streams coming up over the next couple of days. I'm not too far behind from finishing all of my year 1 seasonal challenges from Cold War multiplayer and zombies. You'll be seeing separate streams covering both of those modes, doing fun challenges, open lobbies, dropping more nukes. Hope to see you guys there in some future streams. Might even do one this Sunday, depending on what's going on. But sincerely, guys, thank you all for the support lately. I know things could be rough for COD content creators right now, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new Valhalla bound bundle here in Cold War Year 2? What are you thinking about the Bombshell reports about Activision Blizzard and the Microsoft acquisition, as well as the rumors from hacker Alix? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.